Auto sequence start in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Well, hello there. Welcome, my fellow meeting dwellers, to another installment of Canned Conversation. My name is Andrew. With me, as always, my good friend Steven.
What's going on?
Tell me, my friend, pancakes or waffles? And why is the right answer waffles?
So our answer is always waffles. Always waffles. You don't get them very often, but when you do, they're scrumptious.
I agree. Do you like pancakes at all?
I do like pancakes. I'll do pancakes. You put some blueberry syrup on them, or
blueberry.
Get some stuff in the middle, like banana like whatever. I'm good with pancakes, but you don't turn down waffles.
I know. There's just something about the crevices, each of those little craters.
Yeah. You have to fill it all up, and like there's a process to it, and
you put the pads of butter on top, and then you kind of let those just melt into the craters.
Agree.
And then put on there whatever you want. But I also feel like they're just a little bit lighter, and I like pancakes. I like, but are very heavy.
They sit pretty heavy.
I feel like I have to take a nap after I eat a pancake breakfast. But after waffles,
you feel like you could run a marathon
easily. I may have
easily
done that before. Carb loaded on waffles and run a marathon. All right. Well, I'm glad you got the right answer.
I am too.
As is the reason for all of our fame and notoriety on this here podcast. One of us brings a new, unique, or rare canned beverage to try, and while we tip them back and enjoy the tasty contents that are within, we will do our very best to entertain you with all of our best stories and keen insights on life.
That's what we do.
Today's being about something that Stephen brought having to do with lean and then also having to do with drinking. I heard lean drinking.
Yeah, I made up a game for us.
That's it.
I made up a way to generate topics for us.
Excellent. Later in the show, we're going to come back and review and rate the canned beverage and let you know if you should try it while adding animations to all of your PowerPoint elements in order to impress your boss. Never works.
Never add the animations when in doubt.
Do you ever wonder about the people that are on the PowerPoint team at Microsoft and they're like, I got this new animation.
Yeah, watch this 3D spinny thing. Shut up. Stop doing that. Stop making that an option because somebody's going to use it.
Right. Or no one will use it.
And it just takes up time.
Right.
Stop it.
You have to mess with it for so long and to try to get it just right. Nobody wants it anyway.
Stop it.
They're like, the fact that I'm having to do a PowerPoint is probably loathsome to begin with.
Right.
The fact that I'm going to add these animations,
1980s animation to it. Shut up. Stop doing that.
Right? But that's why I feel bad for some of those people that work in Microsoft. There's a myriad of reasons why I feel bad for people at Microsoft.
Yeah. That's just what.
That is one of them. All right. So
we got some walk-up music.
Yeah, and a good. I think you're going to like this. This
I hope
movie
I'm going to
line.
like it.
All right, you ready?
Yeah.
But I said I don't care if they lay me off either, because I told Bill that if they move my desk one more time, then I'm quitting. I'm going to quit. And I told Dom too, because they've moved my desk four times already this year, and I used to be over by the window and I could see the squirrels, and they were married. But then they switched from the swing line to the Boston stapler, but I kept my swing line stapler because it didn't bind up as much, and I kept the staples for the swing line stapler.
Okay, Milton.
And no,
right, Milton.
not okay, because if they make me,
if
they take my stapler, then I'll set the building on fire.
I'll set this building on fire. I love the quote.
Milton is fantastic, and I had to go for the whole one. I know that was a little bit longer, but man, just to get all the way to
I'll set this building on fire,
which does happen at the end of the movie.
Yeah.
All right.
It's a great that, and his issue with the amount of slices of cake that are not proportional to the amount of people there. He's not. Last time he didn't get. Oh my God, that's one of my favorite quotes of all time.
Yeah,
I don't think the amount of cake is proportional to the amount of people here. But, oh my God, I love
That
it.
was one of the side characters that I feel stole the show.
Oh,
in that
absolutely.
movie, right?
Absolutely.
It's like he's not a main character.
No.
But when you think about that movie, you're like, Milton has got to be the funniest dude on that.
It's awesome.
Yeah. All right. What'd you bring today?
Well, so do we tell the behind the scenes story on this one or no?
It's up to you.
I bought this a while back. I brought it over and we didn't use it. And I said, can we just keep this over here? And
It went into the show cooler.
It went into the show cooler. And then I kind of forgot it was there. And
For a while.
And then tonight you're like, hey, are you ever going to use this? And I'm like, what is it? And he's like, it's this. And I'm like, I didn't remember that was in there. And I'm like,
Right. And I was trying to keep my eyes off of it, but the can.
It's hard to because that's why I bought it. It's because it's Route 55 or Route 51 Brewing Company, and it's this strawberry dream saver. And I bought it because the guy recommended it from Beer Sauce Shop, I believe, and he told me that this thing tasted like a strawberry creamsicle.
Here's what's funny. I actually don't think you bought this.
Do you think you bought it?
No.
Because I think I bought one that's orange dreamsicle.
Here's what I think happened. Now that I'm looking at this more closely,
Did you buy this?
I did not buy this. I think
you
Jared gave us this.
Good. Okay.
Right,
I'm like,
we did.
So I have one that looks like this. It's
Yeah.
orange dreamsicle.
Okay.
Probably the same company.
And
I'm like,
well, this Route 51 caught my eye.
Where's this from?
It's from near.
Oh yeah, it's from Elksville.
yeah,
Illinois.
Illinois. And
So-
he gave us two, and I chose one several episodes back.
Yeah, yeah.
I have no
A while
idea.
back.
And we used that
Thank
one.
God.
And then
'Cause I'm
put
like,
this one in the show cooler.
I don't remember putting this in your show cooler, but I remember getting dreamsicles from.
Okay. I am so
That's
sorry
so
that
crazy.
you went we went through this trying to figure this out, and
I'm like, I don't remember putting this.
and I'm
in
like,
the cooler.
sure, this was you because I'm trying not to look
And you
at
convinced me it's me, and I'm
Yeah.
like, I'm sure I bought it and put it in your show cooler.
Oh,
that's
that
funny.
is
We're just
funny.
now. This is all behind the scenes.
Yeah,
there you go.
So Jared, thank you again.
Nice work, buddy.
This is your second entry into our cans.
It's a 1 pint, which means 19.6 Florida ounces. It's a big
Yep.
can, and it's a cream ale with strawberry and vanilla extract.
Yeah, and Route 51 is located on Route 51 in Elksville, Illinois.
So tell me if I'm wrong. Anybody who knows from this brewery, but do they also make an orange one? Because I believe I've had the orange dreamsicle.
Well, we had another one.
Was
of
it orange?
theirs. I don't know that it was orange. I'll have to go back and look. It's so terrible. We have
God.
so many cans.
Somebody, for the love of all things holy, tell me
yeah.
whether or not this is a dreamsicle.
I mean,
All
if
right.
you want, I can.
I don't. So
Look.
this is. Oh, jeez. No, you're good. Let's just move.
All right.
I feel horrible, Jared. Thank you.
I will try to look that up by the end of this here podcast.
Can I try to pull this all back together? I have a special surprise for you.
All right.
I think our listeners might be excited. I got a gift, and I want to make sure that we get this on the podcast because it might be a way for people to participate more. It might be something they might be interested in. So, if you're a listener, my sister, who's been on this show,
Who we should have back, maybe.
we should. She's a doll.
Yeah.
She's got an opinion about everything, so she's good to have on podcasts. Got me a Christmas present and then accidentally threw it away and then had to rebuy it for my birthday and then forgot to give it to me for my birthday and then brought it up last weekend and said, here, this is a Christmas present that was thrown away that was rebought for your birthday that I forgot to give you on your birthday. So here it is. And so I'm giving you half a stack.
Okay.
I have the other half of the stack. However, if you're watching us on YouTube, you'll be able to see this, but she got us these, which
What?
is...
that has us on it.
So we now have a full stack of lovely. If you've got like hydro flasks or whatever, we've got these lovely stickers with canned conversations with us on it, with our little logo on it. So we now have a big full stack of canned conversation stickers that you can hand out to whoever you want to.
Nice.
We can give away to listeners, or we can do some, people win prizes or whatever. We can send them some stickers. So.
I've also heard that there are people, now I don't know if this is up our alley, but what do you call it? Like rogue PR for yourself, where you go,
Just go stick this
and
stuff-
you stick these things like wherever you happen to be. Like, you're at a somewhere where there's a bus stop and you stick it inside the bus stop, or you stick it on the side of a telephone pole or something.
You've got a stack, so you can do whatever you want to. We can do, I don't know. We've got quite a few. So
Okay.
Hopefully
So
we can give some away.
you have a stack equally as large.
Yeah.
And okay, so then we'll see.
We'll give some away.
Yeah, we'll see. We can give some away, and then maybe just stick a few in random places around town, and then see if anyone tunes in and says, "I found your sticker."
So
I love it.
You now have stickers with your face
So
on it, which
excited.
is cool.
Yeah.
So
I'm sticking these everywhere.
thanks, sis. That was a cool present. Nice work.
Yeah, nice. Thank you very much. And we'll have to have you back here shortly. We've been looking for. We want to have more guests. Since we did the video thing, we've been sort of working out some of the kinks on
Getting a third
that.
video to third third person. So yeah.
But that's coming here shortly. So we'll put a few much needed guests in there.
Yeah.
I was able to pull up real quickly. If you recall, so from Route 51, it was Fuzzkill. It was the peach sour ale. Yeah.
Did we do an orange dreamsicle? Did you look that up?
I didn't look up Orange Dreamsicle. I just wanted to see what that one was.
What the other 51 was.
Yeah.
But if people are wanting to know how to go back and look at some of the ones we've done and see our old ratings, where would they go?
We link it everywhere. It's on our website. You can go to CanCombo or canconversation.com and go to the list. If you're on Facebook or any of our socials, Instagram, I think it all kind of goes back to the same place. And there's a link to this giant spreadsheet where we have done. Now we did 73 cans total up to this. That's episodes. Sorry, I don't have the can count on this one.
There's more than that. There's over 80.
Right. There's over. Yeah. So sorry about that. Yeah, we're on
episode 75 today.
Yeah, 75. Sorry. I'm looking back.
So there's 80
a
some
lot
odd ones that we've
here.
rated. We started rating before we started the podcast. So.
Right. And those are all on there too.
Cool. Awesome. So go look those up.
So this is fun. I love how this beer can came into our lives.
I love that you convinced me. I'm like, you're right. I bought a bunch of stuff from Beer Sauce Shop at one point, and he was like, "Here, get this because I only have this. I only have like 4 of these. If you want something awesome and different, get this." And he's like, "Buy the Dreamsicle, get that." And so I walked out and I had like a pallet of beer at one point. I'm like, I just spent a couple $100 on weird craft brewery stuff, and then I stuck it in my basement for a while, and then I started bringing like 2 or 3 cans over at once, going, I don't know what we want to do tonight for the show, but I've got a couple options. And I'm like, what crap, I guess I bought this. I bought some of this stuff in June. Like I bought Halloween in June.
Right.
So it's been a while.
When you see things and you buy them and then you put them in your queue and then you forget about them and then you're kind of looking through and you go, oh yeah.
Yeah, awesome. So thank God this wasn't me, because I thought I was losing my mind. You're like, you brought this over. I'm like, I really don't think I did, but I could have, and that sounds like something I would do, is just go, can you just keep this?
Yeah.
I can't keep track of it anymore. Okay, so you ready for topics? Mm-hmm. Okay, so I'm going to do the shortest intro on this as I can, but I told you I repurposed a work thing, and we call it Lean Coffee at work. And Lean Coffee is a way to let anybody talk about the topics that they think are important. And so how this usually works is, if you're in a small group, we would spend 5 minutes and you write down topics that you want to talk about. And then everybody gets their topics out. And then you'd spend a couple minutes where everybody voted on the topics that they want to talk about most. Doesn't have to be yours. You can go, I like what Andrew's talking about, or Andrew thinks.
Sure.
So then you take the highest vote count topic and you move it over to in progress and you put a timer on it, right? So you go, you have 5 minutes. We're going to discuss this topic for 5 minutes. If you need to talk about it for more than 5 minutes, you can ask for an additional couple minutes. If not,
the gentleman to my right.
Yeah, I yield to the gentleman.
Yields an additional 10 minutes.
So I thought it might be entertaining. So I completely bastardized this whole game, right? So just keep that in mind. Is I started writing topics down on the back of Post-it notes, and I'll post a picture for what that looks like if anybody cares. But there are 13 Post-it notes sitting in front of us on the table.
Yellow, classic.
They say
OG sticky notes.
They say nothing on top. They only say words on the back.
Okay.
I think we're going to take turns randomly picking a topic, and you have 5 minutes. We'll talk about it. It may not take 5 minutes. It could be it's everything from like little weird stuff like what's your view on
that? Don't tell me.
I'm not going to, no, like I won't give you what the thing is.
All right.
Like your view on this little thing, you might go,
Aliens.
I hate that. And we go, great.
We've already covered
it. So, but we will not spend more than 5 minutes on a topic.
Ooh, all right.
that
Putting a
sound-
timer on us.
Yeah.
All right.
Does that sound okay?
Yeah.
I mean, I thought it was worth. So we did the random or the spontaneous. So we did a spontaneous episode where I just said, let's talk about whatever. And so now I thought it might be fun to do something like weird and like quick. And,
Sure.
So let's try.
Sure. So these are all of your topics. I didn't get a chance
You
to
didn't-
upvote them.
Yep. No, you have no say in any of this, which is
Yes.
not how this. So it's called lean coffee. So if you do it correctly, everybody gets a chance to put their topics out and
Right,
everybody
right.
votes. This is called lean drinking, where Steven controls all of the rules and
Which
all
I
of
love.
the timing. Yeah. So
That's great.
So yeah. So you go first.
So I get to pick any one of these topics.
Yeah, it has a topic on it. What's it
All
say?
right. Favorite historical figure.
Yep. Favorite historical figure. Go.
Wow. Of all the historical figures, who is my favorite? That is so broad. But there's and does it have to be factual?
No.
Okay. I'm buying time by asking these questions. So I might just have to pick one. I think there's so many.
Let me go first.
yeah.
It doesn't have to be just you. We'll
Okay.
just, whatever the topic is, we'll pick it. We'll
Sure.
just both talk, right? So
Sure.
you
Yeah, yeah.
bide some time. So I'm going to go with the one that pops into my head first. Again, I don't have any answers to all this stuff. I just wrote topics down. Literally didn't think anything about it. I'm going to go with Daniel Boone because they've written songs about him, and he was a
Right.
mythical creature by the time after his death. Like
Yeah.
people were like, the man could do, like he killed bears with his bare hands. Like
Right.
he could do anything. Could do anything. So if
All with just a fur hat on, right?
right, you just put raccoon on your head,
Right.
you can kill anything. So yeah, I'm gonna go with Daniel Boone.
Okay. I think what's hard about this one for me is I watch so many history and documentaries that there's so many historical figures. I've always said I'm not an overly religious person, but I'm just going to go back on that. Historically, I would want to, just to see the man, the myth,
The legend.
the legend, and just say hello, and go, do you know? And if everything you believe is correct, and if everything you're saying is correct, you do know this, but you have
Influenced the entire civilization.
You're the
forever
most
and ever.
influential person of all time.
All right.
Just having a dinner, would be crazy, right? Obviously. But yeah, but there's so many, like, I'd love to meet George Washington, and see if they measure up. I think most of when I think about meeting historical figures, and you tell me if you think the same thing, do they measure up? Daniel Boone does he measure up?
No, like half that's myth.
Right on.
So, my wife's gonna kill me. I'm gonna tell you that my favorite. So this is what I hoped it would. So I'm gonna. You'll see what I mean. This is the kind of conversation I hoped it would. Sorry, Jennifer, my bad. We were having a funny conversation. This is gonna sound horrible. There's no way to make this not sound horrible. During Black History Month, and we were having conversation with one of our kids, and let's embrace it a little bit and try to participate, right?
Sure,
because
sure.
sometimes that's hard to connect with and find ways to engage. Wife was doing her part to try to engage, and she just happened to miss it by just a fraction of an inch. And we talked about famous Black historical figures.
George Washington Carver.
Hers was Eli Whitney, for one. Eli Whitney's a white guy.
The printing press guy, right?
Cotton gin.
Oh, Cotton gin. Okay. But he was white.
Yeah, he was a
Okay.
white guy. It also made slavery worse.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
so we were like, I don't.
Yeah, that's
so
right.
anyway, we were like, you could go with Rosa Parks or something like whatever,
right.
whatever you want to do. And so I'm completely poking fun because her intent was right.
Yes,
It's like,
yes.
let's have this good dialogue about why this stuff's not been written about or why these things are not.
Sure.
You always hear about George Washington. You don't hear about X, right? And,
Right.
So the intent was there, but I don't know that I've ever laughed harder in my life than the day in the car going, hey, let's talk about Eli Whitney. And it's like, I'm like, look it up. I'm like, I'm pretty
This
sure
is
this dude's white.
not good.
And then I look it up. I'm like, oh, dude, that guy's white. And it made slavery worse because it started mass producing cotton, right? So it made it like the
But in an
demand higher.
interesting way that actually pushes the ball forward on your knowledge. right? Because,
It did.
like you might not know something and then you say it and it might be wrong. And when you
That's
look it
okay.
up, you go, I'm learning from this.
Yeah.
Right. Like I did not realize.
It was a great experience, right? But like it was.
So I wouldn't take that as bad.
No.
I mean, we can't know everything, right? Like you can't have everything stored in your head factually. So
and you know that there was intricate points in time where you go, there was, the way that this changed the world. Eli Whitney happens to be part of that, and you associate it with very specific things, but you just have the history piece of it a little bit skewed, and there's tons of that. Oh, we're at 4 minutes.
Oh, but then the last thing I'll say in the 7 seconds we have left is that there are a lot of people in history that are flawed, right? And things that they did weren't great.
Yep.
But in their, so it's just hard, right? Like,
agree.
there are historical figures.
5 minutes, we're done.
Yeah.
All right. So I just drew one. Mine is homeless people. Tell me your. I'm telling you, this is pretty random.
Yeah, homeless people. That's great.
Homeless people.
Yeah. So, I have this conversation, I feel like, with various people in my family or something. Like it'll come up because we'll be in a place, and we'll see homeless people where we live. There's homeless people. You go downtown, they're living on the streets. Unfortunately, we'll go to like Memphis, and there's a lot of homeless people down there downtown. And you're like, okay, to me. This is probably not a popular opinion, but I think homeless people, if you're truly homeless, if you do not have a home and you're living on a street, then you have something wrong with, mentally speaking. You have and someone's not there to help you with your mental illness. That is a mental illness. There are truly so many varieties of help that you can get through charities and shelters and places, and there are enough opportunities to try to kind of help boost you. I'm not saying that they're perfect. They're not perfect. But if you are one of those people, and those people, I truly believe in their mental capacity want to be where they're at. Because sometimes you'll, like, if you go to try to go, they'll get mad at you, right?
Yeah.
And they're like, get away from me. Like I want, and it almost seems like that's the life they want.
It's the choice they make to live outside of society's boundaries, right? And so at some point you go, we have programs for you, and you're choosing to not accept help from those programs. And instead, because you don't, either you're mentally ill and you can't function, and we don't have something that's going out and finding mentally ill people and helping them, or you're just choosing to live outside the boundaries because you don't like the boundaries of society that everybody else participates in.
Yes.
You don't like to have a job. You don't like to have to pay for, a
Whatever
car
it
and gas
might
and
be.
mortgage and whatever that is, right? Like you've chosen that that's not your lifestyle, but you also chose to beg on the street and that's how you earn money. And I go, I have a very unpopular, I'm like, I don't know that I want to help you.
And I think the people like you see on at the corner of the now a lot of the highways, where it's like they have a sign. I don't think those people are truly homeless.
No, earning
they
more
have
money.
a place to stay, whether it's nice comparatively speaking to what your house is, maybe not. But I think truly homeless people aren't even begging for money.
No, they're just
the people that you walk past and you're like, man, they're sleeping right there.
Right.
And I truly believe that those people suffer from some mental illnesses, and you cannot force them to do anything. It's a free country. So like you can try to go get them help, but like you said, they don't necessarily want it. It's hard in our system to make someone want what you feel is the right thing for you.
Right.
Because it's their God-given right to sleep on the street.
Yeah, you can be homeless.
Right.
Like it's okay.
Right.
And
we're a free country. You can do that.
And I'm not obligated to help you live out your choice.
Agreed. But I'm not also, and I think where it gets taken advantage of are those people that have the signs on the side that have a 32-ounce cup of something that they got from the gas station, and they don't want food if you give them food, right? Like if you're like, here's a sandwich that I have, and they're like, yeah, I want your money, right?
So
that's their job.
Yeah.
They prefer that as their job and their income. I'm not saying that their life isn't hard.
Right.
Their life is probably hard. I would not want to stand there and do that. But I also don't think that it's very sincere. I don't
Right.
think that their signage necessarily reflects that the actual conditions in which they're living.
Agree. We were working at a food pantry a little bit for a while, and a guy came up. He was actually living in the woods, literally homeless, living in the woods, over like close to the our local hardware store. That you probably know where it's at, between hardware store and the Shop and Save. And so I saw him at the gas station one day when I pulled in, and I go, come on inside. I'll get you something. Like, so he came to the food pantry every week. He helped at the food pantry.
That's awesome.
And then he took back stuff, groceries and stuff. And I'm like, dude, you're trying to do something.
Yeah.
Like you're making an effort.
Yeah.
So I took him inside. I'm like, let's go. We
Shopping.
went and bought, waters and Gatorades and sandwich, like pre-made sandwiches and some like energy bars and that kind of stuff. And I'm like, here, great. Bring it up here. Great. So we walk out and he walks back in, not judging him, but walks back in, and I see what the lady pulls off. It's all those liquor bottles, those airplane liquor bottles.
Yeah.
He has like $4 in his pocket and buys liquor, like all those. So I just bought him probably, let's call it $25 worth of food and stuff,
Right.
which is great because I'm glad it probably fed him for a couple days. All good, but he spent his money.
The cash
That he had in his pocket
He
was
spent
spent
on
on,
liquor.
on 99-cent liquor bottles. And I'm like,
Yeah.
God bless it. Come on.
And that's probably a demon that he's struggling with.
And so I struggle with not having, oh, dang it, we're way over 5 minutes.
Stop.
All right, you're up.
All right.
I need more empathy in my life.
Death penalty. I think we've covered this somewhat recently. I've taken this is one of those things where I say, I enjoy when people have a view on something and can change it. Right. It's not just a hard stance depending on, where you come from in the party, your political party or your religion affiliation or whatever, just says you need to be this. If in my terms, I took a turn on this, and probably in some people's version, probably for the worse,
Right.
Because I was death penalty averse. I didn't think that it was a good idea. I'm like that whole, you're just perpetuating violence, until just enough in the world showed me that there are people that just cannot be rehabilitated, and that it's just a drain on society. And given their druthers, they will perpetuate their evil no matter where they're at. Even in prison, they will perpetuate that evil. And then, I'm not God, so it's hard,
passing judgment.
Right. But if I were Judge Dredd, handing down the sentence, I am okay with the death penalty. You?
I am also okay with the death penalty, and for some of the same reasons. However, I don't think our rehabilitation, our putting people in the penitentiary ever rehabilitates anybody. The very few people come out of that and go, I'm better off now. I've been rehabilitated. I was wrong when I went in. I screwed something up. I was there for 20 years. I now have the skills needed to function in society as a normal human being. So with that aside, that I don't think we really rehabilitate people. I do think there are people that just won't function in society. And I wish it was, for some people, I wish it happened quicker. Some people sit on death row for 15 or 20 years, which means my taxpayer dollar goes to that person. And I'm pissed off about that. I'm like, I don't want to pay for you. I know that you killed your entire family and your neighbors and the people across from you. And if you given a chance, you would probably kill more people.
Right.
Like, I don't want to pay another dime for you to eat meals. Just go to the chamber. And
right.
Somebody needs to tie and quarter you or whatever that you do anymore.
That's a bit brutal.
Whatever they do. You brutally murdered people.
They just give you a shot now.
I know, it's super humane, right? Like, it's like you go to the vet.
Right.
I don't give a crap about it. Like, you don't belong here. You can't function in our society, and we have to eliminate some of those things that don't belong in the society. Now, it's not always that's that slippery slope of who gets to decide who belongs in society or not. But still, my own opinion, I'm like, I wish I didn't have to wait 15 years to let that guy go.
Right.
Taxpayers should not be paying for that guy.
I think both you and I could argue both points of this
Yeah.
To a point where people would believe that we're either for or against it, depending on what we chose.
The Innocence Project
Yeah,
proves
true.
that there's people on death row
And that was what I was gonna bring
who
up.
should not be there.
Yeah, the chance that you are wrongly convicted is like, they're like, I've heard the statement, if one person is put to death that didn't do it, then we should outlaw it completely. It shouldn't be a thing. To me, that doesn't
fly either.
Right. The ends doesn't justify the means on that. One person, I get it, but what is that? Is it going to deter some people in the future, or just going, man, I really don't want to. I don't know.
Humans don't get it right
huge
100% of the
both
time
sides.
on anything.
Right,
We
right.
never get it 100% of the time, ever.
I will
So-
say this, because we do have a couple of
Yeah.
like a minute left. I'm going to give a shout out. I just realized, I don't think I've mentioned this, but we went to the old Missouri Penitentiary. It's in Jefferson City. We took a tour. My wife and I did while we were away on our anniversary trip, and it was phenomenal. If you ever have the chance to go there, awesome. They have a gas chamber that was built, and 39 people got gassed in that gas chamber. We sat in the chair, which some people might go, well, this is a little disrespectful or something. I don't know. But whatever, get over yourself.
Yeah, sure.
Because it was kind of cool. I was sitting in the chair.
That a whole bunch of people died in? 39 people?
Right. And there's a couple of there's one really famous story that happened with a couple kidnapping a kid. I can't obviously go into in the time allotted left, but I will just say it was really cool. It's run by their parks department or whatever.
That's awesome. Where's it at?
It's in Jeff City.
Jeff City.
It's
All right.
really cool.
Jefferson City, Missouri.
It's Missouri Penitentiary Tours, probably.com. Love them.
That's pretty cool.
It's awesome. Amazing history. Really crazy when you look in there about the conditions and all of the stories, and crazy, but love it historically. So much fun. It was really great.
Have you been to Alcatraz?
No, but I know you have.
I have. So that's also a good
Yeah,
one. If you ever
yeah.
get a chance, Alcatraz, fun tour.
Your turn.
Is it? All right, great. What do I got? Worst can we've ever had on the show so far. My vote for worst can ever on this show has got to be sake. It's 100% sake. That sake was hard to smell, not just drink. Like you couldn't get it was really potent, and I know it was only like I mean I don't know if you're gonna look it up. I'm sure.
No, well, I mean not that one particular because there's just so many that we've rated. But probably not very many that we've both rated like a 1.
Oh, it was so. I don't know that. I think I got through half of it. Not even half, maybe a third of it. And it was everything I could do to get through it. And it was more like, I'm like, I could start a bonfire with this.
Yeah.
And I don't think it was even potent enough to be flammable, but God, did it taste like it.
And the only thing I try to find something in everything that we do, like the good or silver lining or something, and go, maybe we just didn't have it correctly. Maybe you're supposed to warm it or something because we drank it cold.
It was horrible.
I see Love Gun.
Love Gun was bad.
Was bad. We gave a 1 and a 2. 1 and 1 was Death by Flapjacks. I do remember that. That was terrible. 1 and 1 was, there it is, Japanese sake. Fanaguchi.
So that I'm gonna go with that one. Is probably
one and 2 was your sister's.
That wine
Bay Bread.
That was pretty bad.
Yeah,
It wasn't as bad as sake. Nothing's as bad as sake in my head.
1 and 2 was Palmer Square by, if you remember that. It was.
I do. I remember that. It was a white can.
Yeah.
Yep.
And I'm looking, you know what? We haven't had a lot of onesie twosies since then. Like, I think we really sort of, like, some of the earlier cans we were just throwing in there because it was crazy.
Yeah.
Right.
We haven't done weird enough. I've got one in my fridge right now that could be a weird one. So
right.
Maybe
that
that
we
will.
just don't even, we're like, I didn't even care. I was like, I'm going to do a canned sake. Right?
Oh
like,
yeah, it was
sake's-
good to do. It was horrible to drink, but it was a good one to bring on the show. It was
Right.
just real bad.
We're going to try so many different cans that we have to spread the love everywhere.
Yeah.
So
It's all good.
That was why that one came up. But
Sake
Death
has to be on there.
Flapjacks, yeah, it was horrible.
Death by Flapjacks was bad. I thought it was gonna be great because it was pancakes. If it was Death by Waffles, I bet we would have drank it. Anyway.
Yes, exactly. I love that callback on that one. With the other one that sticks out like a really sore thumb is the Monaco Blue Crush, because when we had it, we were both a 4, and then I was made to go change Steven's answer back to a 1. A 1.
I had too many that evening.
I had
too many. Yeah, that was a bad one. All right.
Well, the other one that we each gave a 1 was that Dry Fly spicy lemonade that was not spicy. And that.
Oh, I do remember that one too. Yeah,
yeah, that
one.
bad. I poured that. I took a picture of myself pouring that out and posted it.
Yeah, it was bad. All right, what do you say we rate this one as we're talking about ratings?
Okay,
a good spot.
Yeah.
All right, cool. So,
the can that came from Jared that we didn't know until we started.
Oh God, Strawberry Dream Saver. Where are you at with this? Do you think?
I think Jared's going to get a real kick out of this episode. I love it. It's so awesome. This is a very interesting taste. I like it. When I saw Strawberry Dream Saver and the robot on the front is, I love.
It's weird.
And he has like peppermint eyeballs, which I don't like peppermint, but there's no peppermint in here. But it just reminds you of those circle candies,
yeah,
that have the red and the white
candies.
peppermints,
yeah.
but there's no actual peppermint in here. But it fits with, I guess, the montage on the can. And it has a vanilla extract, which I do taste the vanilla.
That's all I taste.
Yeah.
That's the whole aftertaste of this, which makes it taste either watered down or just vanilla-y, one of the two.
I feel like there's a cream.
There's a cream.
And then the vanilla. It's like a vanilla cream. Mm-hmm. And so, yeah, it's just it's like a vanilla cream ale. So I have nothing bad to say about it, but I also don't think I'd be doing go, oh man, this is so good.
Yeah.
I think Peach Fuzz, we made the correct call to do that first because that was really good. The peach, or what was it called? Fuzz Kill.
Where were we at with that one?
Let me check.
Oh,
but
I'm at a 2 on this. I'm not going to lie. I'm probably not going to seek it out. I'm not going to drink a bunch of them. I will finish this, but it was,
yeah, and
4.7% alcohol by volume.
So I was a 4 on the Fuzz Kill. You were a 3.
This is probably a 2 for me. So you're right. Fuzzkill was better for me.
Yeah, Fuzzkill was definitely. I really like the peach, and the strawberry.
Yeah,
it's there. Oh man, I'm so torn because I could see myself drinking more of this if I was there. Because they have a restaurant and stuff, and I came in and they're like, hey, the special today is the Strawberry Dream Saver. Now having had both, I'll choose the Fuzzkill.
Other one, yeah.
So maybe that makes it a 2.
Okay.
I'll choose the Fuzzkill number 1, Strawberry Dream Saver. But I feel like I'm doing it an injustice by giving it a 2.
Yeah, I think it is a 2. You're solid 2. It's 2.
All right. I'll stick with 2.
All right. Sorry, Jared, for 1. But thank you for.
But this was the most fun, one of the most fun can experiences.
Yeah, because
normally we plan a little bit.
Yeah,
and
we've never done this live on the air. Going, who brought this? Why did you bring this? I didn't bring this.
I love when we have a first on episode 20 on 75.
All right, you're up.
Oh yeah, sweet.
So
uncomfortable words. Whoa, geez. That's so funny because I love uncomfortable words.
Yeah.
I love using words incorrectly.
Yeah.
I love, and now I can't even say documentary correctly.
Right. Nobody in my house can either. Thanks.
I try. I'll be like,
my wife says it constantly. There's a documentary. I'm like, are you kidding?
Yes. I love when someone will say a phrase and I'll go, a whole nother would have worked there.
Yeah.
You could have used that. So words to me, I love them. I love the English language. I love other languages too. I just don't know it very well. But, I don't know that, obviously hate speech becomes uncomfortable. Especially if you hear someone say something in public, right? I think there used to be words that were obviously more accepted back in the day, and it's become, and rightly so, it's become a good thing that now if you hear someone say a word that is primarily hate speech, that makes me uncomfortable that someone's saying that out loud
Yeah.
in public, and not in a way that they're like talking historically, like, you know, it 1927, this person did this and this person said this was this word. And it's just
really
a matter of factual element. They don't not when it's taken out of factualness and it's just someone uses a certain word of hate speech that makes me uncomfortable.
To me, it's I'm going to generalize it a little bit farther and say I'm super uncomfortable in public when I hear people talk derogatory towards someone else as if they're lesser. And I don't care what that is. If it's a parent talking to a child as if they're a complete DA,
Right.
Or if it's a husband talking to a wife, and I've had this situation where I've been at work and my cube neighbor is talking to his wife as if she is the stupidest person on earth, and I'm like, if I was that woman, you would not wake up in the morning. You literally would wake up with a letter opener in your throat and a pillow on your face. I would kill you if you talked to me like that.
Right. You're the next episode of Snapped.
Oh, completely. Right. Like that kind of stuff. Anytime you're just pretending like you're you're talking down to someone like they're the stupidest person on earth makes me uncomfortable because I don't know what's wrong with you. Like there's something innately wrong with you that you would dress somebody down like that.
Yeah.
As a grown adult.
Right. And I think we're both in the same place. Basically, if you're spreading animosity and you're spreading hate as opposed to the good in life, right? Like you might not necessarily agree with, let's pick one, like homosexuality or, you know, these things that are in the news. It seems to be in the news, transgender stuff, right? And if you don't agree with that, that's fine, right? Like, I mean, you know, it's a free country. You can have your thoughts, but just, you know, you don't have to spew hatred. And I think that's where it crosses the line is when I feel like someone is taking their beliefs and they're just espousing it to do that and spread hate, right? Like to spread no goodness. And you go, you know what you could have done with those words is something completely different.
Right.
You could have chosen a completely different topic.
Your energy could have been used somewhere
much
way
happier,
differently.
right? Like look over at these fireworks that are going off.
Just know when I wrote this topic down, the only word that popped into my head was moist. And so I thought,
I love that word.
right. And I'm like, we'll go down this whole path. And we've still got a minute left. This whole path of what words make you uncomfortable. But this is why I love this, right? Is that we went down a whole different, I'm like, we're going to be like moist and lotion and sputum and all kinds of weird crap.
All those words I love. Yeah.
Oh.
And I use them frequently. But I will say there are some people that in my life that have said, I don't want that word. And I respect it. I will say that there are other people that find it funny and they will be like, they try to use it then as much as possible. And I'm like,
that's kind of brutal.
Right. I'm not going that far. Like I don't want to make someone feel uncomfortable just because I think it's funny.
Right.
But I also don't understand the hatred towards that word, or not the hatred, but the uncomfort.
How
my brain's not wired that way. So I can say that word and listen to it 100 times. It doesn't bother me at all.
Yeah. All right, we're good.
Woo, all right.
All right, is it my turn?
No, I think you picked.
I know.
No, I picked uncomfortable words. Okay.
Should pineapples be on pizza?
We did this one on things we love to hate, or things that people love to hate.
Yep.
Absolutely. Anything should be on pizza that you want. I mean, pizza isn't like set in stone that goes, you can't make a pizza that has pineapple on it. You can't make a pizza that has anchovies. I mean, seriously, I'm more offended by anchovies than I am by pineapple.
All right. I 100% agree. Pineapples can be on pizza. I love that. We're good.
Let me just throw this out there, though, as far as food. I did have anchovies on something.
Why? Caesar salad?
No. Well, that has anchovy in it, and it's good.
Yeah,
but my wife and I went to this restaurant and had a chef's, he made stuff for us.
Okay.
And there were things on there I'd not eaten before.
And you liked them?
They were fantastic. There was only one that I went, you could. There were 7 things that they made for us. And of those, the one I was like, that could go without. But the one had a little bit extra anchovy on it because you could taste the salt.
Yeah.
But I ate Kangaroo.
What?
I ate kangaroo. And it was al dente, right? That means no.
It's tartar.
Tartar. No, it was tartar.
Oh, so it was raw.
It was raw. It was kangaroo raw. And it was good.
Al
it was a
dente
bit
is
sweet.
what pasta is.
Yeah.
Okay, just making
sure. I got
sure.
it wrong. I was trying to think of the word that meant right.
It's
So if you have steak
tartar.
tartare, it's like barely cooked if at any.
Yep.
So I ate kangaroo. That is now my most
Weirdest
thing. Before I know I've had shark, I've crocodile, I've had a couple of weird, but kangaroo. I'm like, I didn't even know you could legally kill.
You've had crocodile or alligator?
Oh, it's probably alligator. Alligator bites, like it's Cajun.
Yeah. Okay.
But kangaroo, that tops my charts now.
Yeah, that's Australian. It's only one place in the world unless you kill it from the zoo.
Right.
All right.
I don't know. Maybe that's where they got it. Where do you get kangaroo in the Midwest?
The zoo.
You think the one was sick? You know?
Yeah, they're like, this is going to...
What are we going to do with this?
Slice
Give it
this
to
thing
the
up. Yeah.
restaurant.
We're going to backstrap this thing out and sell it. Cool. All right, you're up.
My turn?
Yep.
All right. Worst state, Mississippi. Next.
Agree.
Sorry, Mississippi. And I've actually been in you.
Wait, what?
I've been in you, Mississippi, to know. Like, you know, I mean, I'm not just talking from no experience. I was on a road trip once and I was driving to Florida and we took a wrong turn in Albuquerque. It was not actually Albuquerque, but my buddy was driving and we were supposed to go more east and he went on this highway that was more west. And then, so we're like, for a while, right? So that like, so picture there's you know, it veers off.
Yeah.
So in order to get, we took this, you know, we look it up and we took
Was
this
I
road.
on this trip?
No.
Okay.
And we went through Mississippi and but we also were in Mississippi for my bachelor party. When we went to Tunica.
Yeah, we went to Tunica and we stopped at the gas station and the gas station attendant tried to speak to us and we couldn't understand a word they were saying.
Right.
And they said it like 3 times. How do we get to? We're like, how do we get to Tunica? And
right?
they go and I'm like, what the hell? And they go, you get up on this and you get and then you take a right.
Right, like King of the Hill, right?
And you're like,
was that Boomhauer?
Boomhauer. And we're like, holy crap, we're lost forever in Mississippi.
And if I recall correctly, we kind of thought that one of us knew enough of what they said that when we walked out, we were like, okay, where do we go? And we're like,
we have
I don't
no
know.
idea. Zero idea. We walked out and got directions 3 times from that. It was a lady.
Yeah.
We got 3 times from that lady and no one knew what she said. We walked out and we're like, okay, great. What'd she say? Nobody knew.
And it's probably not your fault, the people of Mississippi. If you're from Mississippi, I'm sorry.
They're ranked lowest in education.
Everything. Just say everything.
Just everything.
That'll save you because we're probably near our 5 minutes.
We're not. We're at like a minute. But this is plenty. This is too much time to
What's the
spend on
second
Mississippi.
worst state that you've been to or you just think of?
I think this is horrible, but I think Kansas is a waste. Because it's hard to drive. I want to get to Colorado faster, and Kansas is in my way.
It's in the way.
And it's ridiculously straight and flat, and there's nothing that keeps you awake on that road.
Agreed.
So not that it's a waste of a state, because that's probably where a
ton of food comes from.
Ton of stuff comes
Right.
from. Like it's good soil, good common ground. And I would probably love to own a piece of land there. However, it's horrible. Like
It's just boring.
Georgia and Kansas are probably the 2 worst states to drive through.
Georgia at least has some mountains, so it gets a little.
Yeah, it's just it might as well be the longest. It might as well be Texas. Well, if you're trying to get to Florida,
right? Because
Georgia might as well be 700 miles long.
It's really long,
it's so long.
And when you're trying, and
you got to get through Atlanta, and it's horrible.
You're going the longest possible way to get to Florida, and you just want to get to where your destination is. You're like, I just want to get to Mickey Mouse.
Yeah, Georgia could not be longer. I'm like, you might as well be driving to Panama at that point. Like it's horrible.
So when and you hear the stories, but so we were driving through Kansas, and I tried to clock how long it took me to see an actual person, because even though you see some structures, 0 people.
Oh yeah,
they don't want to come out.
Yeah,
because it's like dusty. I guess they had the Dust Bowl, a while back.
Just
but
wind and
it's nothing.
Crop. It's nothing.
All right, you pick.
We're good. Really, it's me. Oh, worst state is you.
I said yeah.
Reincarnation. Go.
Yay, nay. I wish I don't. If there were the exact same amount of people, every generations, it would make sense. It doesn't make a lot of sense to me, reincarnation, that it's a thing. It'd be cool. I would love to think that that's a reality.
So there's some weird stories though of people who like my kid has memories of being
Right.
like whatever, like in the 1500s and knows this stuff that they should not know at 3 or 4 years old. And they're going, my name was this. And like, there's those kind of stories that I think are really fascinating and interesting.
Sure.
That are crazy. So, but I struggle with the whole process because that would be the same souls kind of coming back around every time. I feel like there'd be more of those stories.
Yeah, and I know we touched on this in a...
Or do you come back as animals?
Right. In one of our podcasts, I made the statement that the problem with reincarnation is that everyone who claims to be reincarnated was someone famous, right?
Right. Like,
they were like,
I
am the reincarnated Joan of Arc. And you're like, oh, you weren't the dude that died of dysentery?
Oh, that's right. Because we talked about like Saddam Hussein was the reincarnation of...
Right.
Oh, yeah. That was crazy. Oh, yeah.
Like Caesar or somebody, so you don't go, I suffered the Black Plague at 20 and died as just a mound of person on another mound.
Right. I sold newspapers in New York. No one knew my name and I didn't have any family and I died. Like I that's who I was.
Yeah. It's
random Joe.
Everyone, it was somebody famous.
So it just can't be possible.
I'm not saying it can't be possible.
All right. So
I can't say anything is not possible. Anything is possible.
So if you were reincarnated from someone in the past, who do you think you're most like? Like, who do you think you'd be a reincarnate of?
Einstein.
And we're done. You pick.
I didn't know. I was like, who's the smartest person that I'm not that smart. No, I can't do math that well. Our
time is up here.
I love math, but
you're up.
No, I'll have to think on that one though. That'll be a good one. Who would I have thought? Worst person in the world. Whoa, go current.
I don't care.
Sure. I don't care.
Current.
I was going to say, because I mean, you got to go with Hitler. Like if you're,
he was bad. I mean, there's probably other worse people that
that's true.
Don't get as much press.
Yeah, that's or were historical figures, and you kind of dismiss how many people they killed because it wasn't as focal,
right? Or it wasn't percentage of population, like could have been way worse, but the amount of people was less.
Yeah,
Attila the Hun or somebody, right? Like
he
killed millions of people.
Right.
Probably a better percentage of people than Hitler did. I don't
know. Saying better seems weird there, but I know what you're saying. Worst person in the world.
Right now. Let's do right now. Right now, who is the worst person in the world?
I mean, I think just the person that is spreading the most fear, anxiety, hate, whatever. It's got to be Putin. In the Western thought process is that, I mean, 20 years ago, the Cold War sort of ended for a while, right? And then people weren't thinking nuclear, weren't thinking a person could press the button and end this all for no reason other than their own ambition or their own like God complex. And I think that has just materialized to an extent similar, not as bad as the Cold War, but it's there. The fact that it's there is crazy to me, right? Yeah. Like, you knew it would happen, right? Like, there's going to be people on the earth that do that.
Yep.
But the circumstances have aligned that he got to power through really bad things,
and he's going to stay in power because of really bad things. But whatever, and
he's going to continue to prop up his powerful, and then what he has put his people through, and now what he is making the rest of the world worry about. Like, I don't think there's a person that can necessarily
yield
more than him that can
worry.
yield that much worry across people. That's my answer.
Agree. What I think is interesting, though, is that Ukraine is giving him kind of a run for his money, which is entertaining to me, in that you have this giant country and you pretend to have a lot of power. Ukraine's not that big.
No, but they got a lot of backup.
I get that, but
Yeah, I'm with you.
I'm like,
it's an underdog story that people are that you can kind of glom onto. I mean, war sucks, right? It's horrible.
yeah, you're
it's
killing
the worst
a bunch
thing
of,
possible.
Yeah, it's asinine, and it's usually over a and this sounds sexist or whatever, but it's usually a man in power who's trying to get more power.
Right.
I mean, so
Or money,
or
which is a lot of times
money,
the same.
power, control.
Right,
all
right.
that happens
Right.
because some man has some sort of weird ego complex that he should be the king of everything, and
Yeah.
without realizing that maybe nobody else cares that you're the king of everything. You can have it. Like, they don't even care they have it. He has a ton of money. Like, he's sitting on a war chest, right? Like, he's sitting on a ton of money. Just enjoy your damn money. Like, you won the lottery. Just shut up and go retire and buy an island somewhere. Why you got such an ego?
Right. Listen.
Why you gotta take over stuff?
Listen to our podcast,
Right.
and understand why you shouldn't be doing what you're doing.
Hashtag Putin, right? Like, whatever we need to do to get through.
Right.
All right. You
Is
good?
he? I mean, well, I don't want to monopolize the worst person you have.
No, I'll
a minute
take it.
and
No, I will take. I think Putin's a good. People would probably argue it's Kim Jong Un or whatever, but to me, he's playing little man complex, trying to get attention. He's
a little State Puff Marshmallow Man that he's.
He could be gone with like a couple bombs, and the whole thing would be over for him.
Yeah.
Where I think Putin has gotten a little bit more respect.
Do we have 4 left? We got to go rapid fire.
We don't have to fix it. We don't have to do all of them. I tried to get enough to get through it.
Can we do like a 2-sentence rapid fire on because you made these?
Yeah.
Are we free?
I was wondering who was going to get that one.
I am never free. If you want any part of me, you're going to have to pay.
Great.
So I'm going to say, I know we just covered this on a podcast too. True freedom is not really attainable in order to live in a society that works, but I'm as free as I feel like I should be in order to live in a non-anarchical society. I don't even know if anarchical is a word, but I used it.
So I saw this weird thing, probably on Instagram. I'm going to make this as short as I can.
Yeah.
That simulated that, which was some lady going, I think it was Instagram probably, and she goes, 150 years ago, you didn't have to register yourself with the government to open a business, to buy a car, to buy a house, to buy a whatever. Like, all of these things you didn't have to do. Depending on what you title as free, that was free. Like, now you're in a tax state where you have to, before you can do anything, you have to tell the government you want to do it. That becomes not free.
But then I could be totally off the grid and be homeless too. I could go live on the street tomorrow.
So that would be freedom.
I mean, I'm as free. Okay. I am as free. Obviously, there's little bits here and there, but I'm as free as I think I could. We're on the next one. What's the next one?
We've already Swingers.
You're so money, baby.
Yeah, Swingers.
That's the movie. It's a good movie. You don't even know it.
No. Go. Swingers. Is it okay?
Sure. Oh yeah, that's freedom. I mean, if you're into that,
freedom.
yeah. I mean, I don't. I think if you derive a pleasure from something that's with consenting adults, again, I go to as long as you are doing stuff with consenting adults, I do not care what you're into. I keep it in over. Do
don't
whatever.
Push it on me.
Yeah, there are things that I'm going to cringe at if I hear it. Because I've heard some things, right? Everyone has. And you go, oh my gosh, that doesn't seem pleasurable at all.
Yeah.
But if it's somebody's pleasure and there's consenting adults doing it, by all means. And that seems not even the worst scope of things that you've, I'm sure, heard of.
Yeah. I think it rarely works out for everybody to be happy and it work out great, but
seems like you have experience in this.
No. I'm just saying, I've never heard of people going, we're swingers, like for the rest of our lives, and that's always worked out great for us. Like, that seems weird. You have to have a lot of trust. Like, that's just not normal human nature, is to always have that much trust in a human being. So I think it rarely works out. If I hear correctly, it's not something I will probably ever participate in, but I'm with you. It's you have the freedom to do it. I think it's probably a weird lifestyle.
Swing away, baby.
Yep. Go crazy. You're up. We're going to do this whole round in less than 5 minutes.
Best person you know.
Can't be family member.
Oh, okay. Because I was going to say, I mean,
can't be family. Nope. Can't be a family member.
The best person I know. They can't be a family member. I'll go with you.
What?
I don't know.
I'm a horrible person.
I don't know very many people. Do I have to know them personally, or can it be? Is it like the question of who's the worst person on earth? Like the best person I know of?
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
These are so open.
I thought
can't
it
even
was like
say.
people I know
People you know.
that
Of.
isn't a family member. Okay, of.
I'm-
That's a big of at the back
all
end.
I'm saying is, there's an easy answer that goes: the people who raised me are the best people I know. More than likely, in some way, shape, or form. Like I have
the person I married.
I have a great wife. I have a great mother-in-law.
Right.
Yeah, I have great in-laws. I have a great sister. I have all these people that would probably be the great, like in that top 5 ranking. It can't be them.
Right.
So I don't care.
Personally,
Other than that, I don't care. You can't have family.
right. So if it's take it out of personal knowledge, it's just anyone.
Yep.
That's a great question. I don't know.
All right.
I don't even know how to answer that, because you know what's funny is I know everyone is flawed. So like I know there are great people in this world, but I also know there's probably some flaws that they're dealing with, and so like there's no perfection.
Yeah.
But there are great people.
Yeah. I had, so when I wrote that question, I go, I don't think I can answer this.
Yeah.
But I mean, there's people in my life that I go, those are probably the best people I could ever dream to be. One of them's Ralph, the guy that helped my dad, was one of my dad's good friends. And I go, he's always been very selfless. He's always kind. He always wants to know how my kids are doing. He always wants to know how my family's doing. He helped my dad when he was sick. He cares about everyone else before himself. But we also had, like, I had all these people that were around me that were very good, mentoring
sure.
people that you're like, those are like the best people on earth. I don't know how you pick like a Dick
How do you
Bowen
pick?
or there's all these people that inspire you in some way, shape, or form that aren't necessarily relatives, but you go, damn, I wish I was that good of a person, but I'm not. You just look at them and go, they're better than I am.
Yeah, I feel like
They're kinder than I am.
I don't want to seem like it's egotistical to say I can't answer that question. I feel like it's actually almost the opposite, in that I feel like we surround ourselves with people we find are inherently great people that I wouldn't be hanging around if you weren't.
Yeah.
Right. So if I know you and I'm, and you're a great person, if I know you and
you're up there in the
communicate
book.
with you,
Yeah.
yes, for sure.
Oh God.
Last one.
Gun control.
Gun control to Major Tom.
No, close. So yeah, our last topic, we're
We're
getting
right
close
at the
to
hour.
end, so
here, I mean,
I want your stance in 2 sentences.
Yeah, my 2-sentence stance is, I believe that you should have the right to own a gun, but there should be some limitations. I guess I would probably have to be king for a day to write those down and then just have them stamped, because there's never going to be agreement from the people that are completely like, if you take any part of the Second Amendment away, you take it all away. And then there's, the other side of the coin of, we just, guns
kill people, so get rid of them.
Guns are a really, really, really dangerous toy. We have more things that prevent dangerous toys at Target than sometimes guns.
How many sentences
and yes,
is this?
I do believe that there should be probably a database of some, and the people on the one side will go crazy about this, but like you should not be able to go to a gun show and purchase a gun without anyone knowing it, is my point. I have to go when I go to a gun store and I bought a gun, I had to get a background check, and I had, there were checks and balances in place. The latest school shooting that happened very close to us, that person was denied a gun legally in those manner through a gun store, and then had to go to a personal buyer and then got around the system doing that. Should that be shored up? Yes, that should not be a thing. There should be personal sales, but there should be a middleman, and that those middle people should have to do the exact same scrutiny as a gun shop. And will it prevent all violence? No. Do I think that people should own an AK-47? No. But do I think semi-automatics should exist? Yes. Right? Where people will go, oh, you should ban all semi-automatics.
What happened to the quick wrap up of this?
Shouldn't be that. Yep. You go. No, I think I tried to. There should be some.
You had 2 sentences, and you went off for 5 minutes.
It's the run-ons.
I knew that was the bad. That's why when I looked at it, I'm like, that can't be the last one.
Are you just gonna say I agree with what I said? Or,
I'm gonna give you 2 sentences. I own guns and know that they're dangerous and have seen them be dangerous in person.
Yeah.
2, there is middle ground here that
for sure.
That we should have restrictions on who can have something that can kill people.
Right.
Like that can. Like a AR, like any sort of rifle. I get the difference between the nonsense around everything's an assault rifle. Shut up. I get that there's like they've made this assault rifle thing. I get all that. There is something we should be able to do to keep people from being able to buy dangerous things without anybody knowing. That's just dumb.
Yeah, agreed.
You have to register your car because it's dangerous and we want to make sure, but you don't have to, like, that's ridiculous. Yeah. And I own guns. I've hunted all my life. I get it. But there's, there's middle ground.
I own guns too.
There's middle ground.
And I believe in the freedom of being able to do that, but I don't believe in absolute freedom and that if I wanted a bazooka, I could get a bazooka. There's a line somewhere.
Yep.
And I would hope that most people go, yeah, you shouldn't be able to own a bazooka.
Yeah.
Like that just seems silly. Bazooka seems silly to you, but that line is somewhere.
And if you're out there thinking to yourself, good job. If we give them some sort of concession, they'll take away all of our guns for hunting. You're a moron. I'm not going to lie to you. That's the dumbest argument ever.
Right.
No one's saying take a rifle that you kill deer with that you can shoot 5 shells out of away from a law-abiding citizen because somebody's shooting up schools. It's just not. You're making dumb arguments, and that's coming from a gun owner. And I promise you, I mean zero respect. You're dumb. That's a dumb argument. Don't make that. Like, they're not going to take away my shotguns. They're not going to take away your pistols that hold 9 shells. They're not going to take away your deer rifle. Shut up. Stop it. Stop it. Do not let the NRA do that to you.
So with that non-inflammatory ending.
Yeah, bring it. Find us on our socials. If you're pissed off at me after that whole nonsense, I apologize. I cannot help it. I think there's dumb arguments out there. I would love if you're watching us on YouTube. If you're not, go watch us on YouTube. You can see us live. I mean, you can see our faces and see our expressions and all that fun stuff and see the actual beer that we're doing and drinking as we go
Thanks,
along.
Jared.
Yeah, thank you, Jared. And hit subscribe, smash the like button.
Smash it.
Whatever that is. I don't give a crap. I hope you enjoyed the episode, though. This was kind of a weird, random topic thing. So
that was fun.
Cool.
All right. Thanks you.
Thanks you.
So long. Farewell. We're saying goodbye. Adieu. Adieu to you and you and you.
Ooh.